What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sports Talk. I got a lot to discuss for you guys today, so let's dive right into this, shall we? So, a lot has happened here in the past just few days of the world of sports, which, again, I know I've said this before in some of my previous episodes. This is normally the lull. There normally is nothing going on, but actually, a lot has gone on in just the past few days. So, first thing I got to start with is this kind of kills me, but I got to give a big shout out and congratulations to the LSU Tigers. Great job on winning the College World Series in baseball, guys. You guys really persevered. You were able to take out the number one team in the country in the juggernaut of Wake Forest, and then you were able to come back after being slaughtered in Game 2 of the College World Series final against Florida, 24-4. And come back and just demolish your opponent. The fact you overcome that is just insane. Well-coached team. Can't really say anything else other than that. Great job to the LSU Tigers because you guys did awesome. I mean, that's all I can really say. I wasn't cheering for them. I was cheering for Wake Forest. I thought Wake Forest was going to beat them. My heart sank after Game 2 when LSU walked it off in the 11th inning after a 0-0 game, the whole game, which was great, by the way. That was one of the greatest baseball games I've ever seen in my life. But, hey, hats off to them. Congratulations, guys. You really deserved it. That's really all I can say for that. I do want to move on to the really more important story right now. So we actually do have some NFL news. So I guess the NFL is really cracking down on this gambling stuff that's going on with the players. So just yesterday, they suspended, I think, like 4 players for the season for gambling on games. So this has kind of been becoming a trend now, and I kind of go back and forth when it comes to the sports gambling, okay? Now, I know I live in the state of Texas, and in the state of Texas, gambling is illegal. You can't do any form of gambling in the state of Texas at all. You'll get thrown in jail for it. Like, sports betting's illegal, any type of gambling, doesn't matter, okay? With that being said, though, I think there is a fine line. Now, sports betting is starting to become very popular, especially with FanDuel and DraftKings and all that other stuff. So, I think, honestly, when it comes to sports betting, keep it on the down low. To me, especially if you're in a professional league like the NFL, don't be making it so obvious to where you get caught. A lot of these guys that are getting caught doing it are doing it at their team facilities where there's cameras everywhere and timestamps everywhere. And, of course, somebody's going to rat you out, especially if you piss them off. So, again, these players aren't really thinking clearly. But at the same time, I get, okay, you know what, it's legal. They're not really doing anything illegal when it comes to a criminal matter, but when it comes to an NFL rules matter, I guess they kind of are. Now, do I agree with the indefinite suspensions? No, I don't agree with that. Maybe a month, 2-month suspension. But I think a year-long suspension is a little much. Because 2 guys ended up getting a year-long suspension yesterday. They were on the Indianapolis Colts, and then they got cut. Now they're out of a job. They can't play football for a year. So, they got to find something else for a year before they can apply for reinstatement. All because they did that. I get, though, you got to follow the rules. I understand, I completely get that. But I think the NFL really needs to lighten it up a little bit. I think a year-long suspension is just way too much. That's just my personal opinion. I don't believe, though, that we should be letting this kind of behavior go at all. There definitely needs to be some punishment, yes. Because rules are rules. You break them, That's understandable. Okay. Now, if you're betting on games while you're at the team facility, I can see maybe 6 to 8 weeks. If you're doing it when you're not on team facility property, really the NFL has no say in what you can do. That's honestly like me being told by the United States government that I can, trying to think of a good example here. I can't walk around. I can't walk around shirtless in my house. I'm in my own house. I can do whatever the fuck I want. That's the thing. That's kind of I know it's kind of a weird analogy, but that's the best one I can think of right now. So that's what I mean. The NFL really can't be telling these players you can't be doing this stuff when you're off team facilities. The only way they'd be able to get away with that is if they literally started putting tracking devices on these guys. That'd be the only way. Or they started tracking their phones, which is a form of communism, by the way. But I'm not going to get into politics right now. We don't talk politics. So, like I said, that's just a topic I had to get out of the way because, I love the NFL. And the sports betting, I've had a thing with, I go back and forth because I'm a big Pete Rose fan. I still think to this very day, Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame, especially now that sports gambling is legal. Now it's just to the point where it's being hypocritical towards him. And honestly, he should be pissed because he's still alive. If I was Pete Rose, I'd be pretty livid right now. Seriously. But I don't think he's going to do anything. I think he's probably gotten over it. He's done. He did his thing, He made his money. He got his rings. I mean, I don't think he really cares. And I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. So, whatever. Also, moving on, I got some NBA news to go over. So, yesterday, I found out Kyrie Irving from the Dallas Mavericks, who's a free agent, is flying to Phoenix to meet with the Suns. So, now they're talking to create this big super team. Okay. Hell, we got Bradley Beal, we got Kevin Durant, we got Devin Booker. Let's go after Kyrie. Why not? You know what? Let's go after Kyrie and see what happens. Okay. Here's where you're going to fuck up, Phoenix. And this is what I said. The Phoenix Suns are starting to become a really bad ran organization. Okay. You pretty much are going to strain your cap to rely on 4 guys to win your games. Okay. 2 of them get hurt a lot. Booker and Kevin Durant. Those guys get hurt a lot. Okay. Bradley Beal is decent. He's a decent player. He stays pretty consistent. He's just overpaid. He's getting paid $50 million a year. And then you got Kyrie. All right. Where do I begin with Kyrie Irving? And I've talked about Kyrie Irving so much to the point where it makes my head hurt. Kyrie Irving is the biggest fucking head case in the NBA. Okay? He is, I'm gonna just flat out say this right now. He is the Antonio Brown of the NBA. He really is. And this is why. The dude cannot make up his mind. I don't know what Kyrie wants. Okay? He had it made in Cleveland. He was the number 1 overall pick coming out of Duke. He was with Bron. Dude, you have the best player in the league playing with you, and you're bitching about it. Oh, I want to go run my own team. I want to be the man. I want to be the star. Okay. Where does he go? To the Celtics. all right. As a Celtics fan, I was pretty excited at the time. I was like, hell yeah, we got Kyrie. We're going to win a championship with this guy. Nope. 2 years of Kyrie Irving, he didn't do jack shit there. He was hurt all the time. Didn't help mentor the players. He was a cancer in the locker room. Boston lets him walk. He goes to Brooklyn to team up with Kevin Durant. That friggin' turned into a dumpster fire. Like, that was just a major dumpster fire for all the years he was there. Whining and moaning left and right. Bitching about the COVID vaccine. Then he did the anti-Semitic post on Twitter. Like, he just started going off the deep end like Kanye West. Then the Nets are like, you know what? We're going to blow the team up at the trade deadline of last season. And what do? They ship them to the Mavericks. All the Mavericks fans are jumping for joy. Oh, we got Kyrie. Yeah, baby, we're going to win it all. No, you're not. I told every Mavericks fan this. Every friggin' blind Mavericks fan, I told them, take it from somebody who's had Kyrie on their team. He is not going to do nothing for you guys. Nothing, nothing. And what happened? The Mavericks went from being the fourth best team in the West at the trade deadline to missing the playoffs. Explain to me how that happens when you supposedly got probably the best point guard in the league in Kyrie Irving. Explain that to me. Crickets. Because the Mavericks got rid of all their depth and their defense. That's why. Now, the Suns are trying to make the same goddamn mistake because they want to build this super team. It's not going to work. It's not. All four of those guys are not going to be able to play with each other. I can tell you that right now. They're not. And then what are you going to do? If you're Matt Ishbia, what are you thinking after that if that falls in your face and you don't even get a championship out of it? What are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh, well, shit. We just fucked ourselves because we got 3 guys on super maxes. Plus, if they get Kyrie, depending on what he signs for, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get a super max, but he'll probably get like a middle of the road contract. Okay, then you got nobody. You really don't. You have nobody after that. And then what do you have? Cameron Payne? Maybe DeAndre Ayton? Fuck. Shit. I don't know. And the thing is, I'm starting to kind of hate the Phoenix Suns because they're just trying to do the super team crap. Honestly, the super team crap does not work in the NBA. It really doesn't. It's not feasible at all. You got to do what the Nuggets did. People need to take that blueprint because, look, the Nuggets did it with 2 guys that were superstars, and then the rest were just role players that bought into the system. That's how you do it. This super team shit, it don't work. Not today. It doesn't work anymore. Everybody's geared for it. It doesn't work. So, again, I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to keep my eye on it, though, and see what does happen. Because Kyrie Irving is definitely one of the biggest free agents on the market right now. So, definitely going to be keeping an eye on him and see where he goes. Just stay the fuck away from Boston. Please stay the fuck away from Boston. Also, I did get word today that James Harden from the 76ers, he did opt into his contract, but it looks like the 76ers are going to trade him. I heard the Clippers and the Knicks are 2 teams that are coming up as favorites to get him, which is very interesting. So, looking at both of those teams, if I'm the Clippers, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back because I'm like, okay, I got Kawhi Leonard, I got Paul George, I got Russ, because Russ wants to come back. So, Do I really need James Harden? No. No. Because that's just going to be hell. Plus, Kawhi and Paul George, they can't stay healthy anymore. Russ is Russ. James Harden, he chokes. When it comes crunch time, James Harden's a choker. It showed in the playoffs this year. I remember after he had that 45-point game against the Celtics, I said, watch, he's going to disappear the rest of the time. Sure enough, he did. You didn't hear from James Harden much after that, and that's just how he is. He has one good game here and there, and then he disappears. He's very inconsistent. So I don't see what the whole big buzz is about James Harden. Also, he's getting older now. He's, 35? Going to be 36, I think. Because he got drafted in 2009. Let's see. So that's 14. This is going to be his 14th season in the league. So, yeah, he's like either 33 or 34. Like, he's in his mid-30s. He's not like the old James Harden of back in the day when he was winning MVPs with the Rockets. That James Harden is gone. So, unless you just want him as a veteran leader, I don't think the Clippers should take a chance with him. Now, the Knicks, on the other hand, would need a guy like him because they don't have that veteran leadership. A lot of their guys are very young, like Thomas Robinson and Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Obi Toppin. Those guys are all really young. So I think what needs to happen is the Knicks need that veteran leader because they got a great coach in Tom Thibodeau. Don't get me wrong, he's a great coach. But I think the Knicks they're missing that. If they get that veteran leader, they're going to be okay because they made some noise last year. The Knicks actually kind of surprised me. Yeah, they couldn't beat Miami. Miami went on a really hot streak, though. They played them good, though. Even though one of the games they won, Jimmy Butler was out. I'm not going to count injuries, though. I just think this NBA offseason is going to be, really, sick, honestly. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be awesome. It just started today. Today is the first day of free agency. I haven't heard anything yet. Couple of re-signings here and there, but nothing really too crazy. I don't know. Again, this is this lull, I hate this time of the year. I love it outside. I love it, being in Texas. But I hate this time of year when it comes to sports because there's nothing going on. It literally is the dog days of summer with sports because there's nothing that goes on. Nothing. You get a couple of news pieces here and there, but that's about it. When October rolls around, that's where it's going to get really fun, honestly, guys, because October is the best time of year when it comes to sports because everything's going on. Everything. There is nothing that is not going on in October. But that's 3 months away. So, got a little bit of a ways to go before that, But that's all I got for today, guys. I'm going to come out with another episode here probably here in the near future. If I get a little bit more news as the week goes on. I know we got training camp here in a month for football. So that's going to be fun once we start getting near that. Again, I'm going to try and get some more news up first before I do anything. But for now, have a great weekend, guys. I'll talk to you all later.